Hello everyone and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. I'm Nancy. I grabbed a glass of lemonade to make this video, so I hope that you will pause this, go and grab a glass of lemonade or a cup of tea, whatever your beverage of choice is. Now, I am filming this, it's at the very end of October, and this is wedding week for our family, so I needed to go ahead and do some pre-filming, and it is so warm out today. It is probably, looking at the thermometer, it's 75 degrees. It is 75 degrees at the end of October. And I've noticed that our leaves have just started to change and they are so beautiful. Right now I can see the crepe myrtle out of the corner of my eye, and even that is so pretty. But in today's video, we want to talk about jobs that you can do in your garden, some that you can do and definitely some that you should do for the month of November. Now, I garden in a Zone 7 in South Central Kentucky, and ironically, my family farm in East Tennessee, that's also a Zone 7. So I'm really blessed in that things that I have here at my house, I can take to the farm and plant, which I'm getting ready to do. But one of the things I wanted to mention to you is, first of all, if you don't know what zone you're gardening in, just go to your search engine, whichever one you use, and put in your zip code and then growing zone, and that will tell you what zone you're in. And something of interest, these do change. I think it's on a 3-year average, so you know, it doesn't hurt just to do a check every now and then and make sure that that the zone you think you're in is what you're in. But something of comfort, your local nurseries are only going to carry what is going to grow in your zone. So if you are buying plants from your local nursery, you should be just fine. And then if you're getting going maybe to seed swaps or plant shares or whatever, your neighbors are going to be growing the same thing. But that's one thing to keep in mind. So let's think about some of the things that we need to be doing in November. Now, what is so odd for us is our first average frost in the fall is October the 15th. We are going to be 3 weeks past our normal average frost, and that has just been such a blessing that we could get out. It gives us a little extra time to get chores done in our garden. And one of the things that we need to think about is collecting our seeds. We want to make sure that we get out and collect our seeds before the first frost. And in my case, what I usually do is just take something, go out and collect them, and then in the winter, when I don't have very much to do in the garden, I will actually sit down and separate the seeds from the chaff, which is what is oftentimes around the actual seeds on the flowers, just depending on what kind of seed it is. Another thing that I have been asked about is, can I cut back my hostas? And absolutely, they are, if you didn't cut your seeds off, I cut mine off because I just have all the hostas that I want, and once I see that the bees are finished with them, I just go ahead and cut them off just to clean it up just a little bit. But yes, go ahead and cut those back, and your fall cleanup is completely your choice. The advantages to leaving your flowers until the early, I guess it would be the middle spring, is that you're going to be able to feed the pollinators. So my rule of thumb is generally I will keep my front yard looking a little bit tidier than my backyard, and then it also depends on how much decorating you want to do for Christmas. And I do like to do quite a bit of decorating, and I actually use a lot of my summer pots to put Christmas arrangements in, and when it gets closer to time, I'll show you all how I do those. So again, it's just a personal preference, but what I do leave, I try to have it cleaned up by Valentine's Day. And you know, each person is different. I can get out, and if it's 50 degrees, I usually bundle up, and once I'm working and moving, I'm comfortable working outside. And some people, you know, that may be too cold for them. So it really just depends on the person. Now, another important thing that we can do in the fall, in November, is, big truck just went by, is plant seeds. This is the perfect time to get those poppies, direct sow those poppy seeds, your hollyhocks, your foxglove, your primrose, so many flowers that you can plant now, and then you will have them in the spring or the summer. And that's especially true. I really struggle with biennials. Of course, perennial is a plant that you plant, or shrub, that comes back year after year. And annual is a plant that's only going to last one season. And so many times with annuals, I'm thinking about like the impatiens. You can take cuttings of those, and you can go ahead. Now, some of them will die, and that's perfectly normal. If you're putting them in water, and you do want to change out your water. If you see that your water is getting cloudy, go ahead and clean up that water, switch that water out. Some will die, but some will make it, and those are just free plants. So anything that you especially love, you can go ahead and take cuttings of that. Lantana is something, let's see, there's just so many things. And you know what? If you're not sure, try it. It's your plant, it's your garden, and I'm a trial and error gardener, and I am one of these people. I'm very hands-on. You all know this from my thrifting, and I have to do it. I can read about it, I can watch a YouTube video on it, but until I do it myself, until I either cut it, try to propagate, and if I'm not successful, then I figure out what went wrong. You know, what did I do wrong? But anything that you have in your garden that you want to try to keep, try it. You know, there's just nothing there to lose. Now, if you do take your plants out of your pots, you do want to make sure that they can't collect water and freeze. So go ahead and turn those pots over, or maybe take them indoors. And that is the same thing for your water hose. And if you're collecting rainwater in barrels, you want to go ahead and drain those. You don't want any water to be able to collect. And for us, next Tuesday, I think it'll be, maybe it's Halloween, I'm not really sure, but I think we're gonna get 34 that night, and I'm gonna go ahead and have everything done. So one of the big chores for me is actually cutting down my banana trees, and I'm telling you, I have not cut those down, and the frost has got them. They are not pretty. You go out and it's just a big old black yucky mess, because the banana trees, which are hardy, they're water. They're just so much water. So Monday I'm planning on cutting back my banana trees, and then I want to make sure and take care of my animals. So I'm going to be putting some tarps up around the chicken coop and making sure that the bunnies and the chickens are warm. And I know you may think, oh, I'll wait, but let me tell you, it's so much easier to do these chores when the weather is nice versus when the weather is cold. So another thing that I like to do in November, there's two things that I have that I love, and I have been seeing them when Cameron and I have been We went to Cross Plains this week, and the drive up there was just simply beautiful. And the burning bushes, those are the bushes that turn bright red this time of the year if you plant them where they get plenty of sun. These are the easiest shrubs to propagate. So when I go to the farm in the next few days, all I'm going to do is go out. I'm going to cut about 10 good sized stalks from my burning bushes, and then I'm going to take them and plant them in a row somewhere on the farm, so that in a few years, it'll take a few years to grow on, but it'll be so beautiful. And another thing that in November you can plant, just stick it in the ground and it'll root, are willow trees. Now, I happen to have a crooked willow. I think I've showed you that many times before. And in fact, somebody gave me a piece. I stuck it in the ground, it rooted, and I have shared it many, many times over. So I'll do the same thing where I just take the crooked willow. I will cut, I'm probably going to do 10 or 15 of those. I will cut those, put them in a bucket of water, take them to the farm in East Tennessee, and then I will make a hole, and I will stick just the stem in the soil, tamp it down, and then I'll keep it watered. So, you know, I don't know, I won't know what my percentage rate is on propagation, but I'll take you along for the journey and we will learn this together. But all of the burning bushes, I think I bought 3 burning bushes a long time ago, and all the other ones that I have in my garden are where I've done that same method of propagation. In November, cut it off, stick it in the ground. Now, I do cut the smaller branches off and get the nodes. You want the nodes down in the ground so that that can form your roots. But another thing that I want to do before it frosts, I have recently planted quite a few roses. So I am going to take some straw and I am going to bed my roses down pretty good with straw. And anything that you have that you just maybe want to give a little extra protection to, you can do that. Now, another good thing that you can do is when it comes to your leaves, some people want to leave their leaves, and that's beneficial because there's lots of little insects that live in there. If you want to collect your leaves, chop them up. If you have some way to bag and chop your leaves, and then you can put that around your plants. And that's also a great time to compost, to add compost to your garden. Hopefully, you are doing little things like maybe you started a small composting place in your garden. Hopefully you're saving your banana peels and your coffee grinds and your eggshells, things like that. But the fall is a really great time to put compost in your garden, and it just gives those plants an extra boost. You know, we always talk about amending our soil. Our soil is the most important thing that we can do for any plant, is to give it good, rich soil. So the fall is a great time. Now, there's never a bad time to put compost. You do have to be careful if it's, you know, August, that you don't just burn your plants up. But fall is a great time if you can get a load of compost, or if you're making your compost, maybe you want to take your leaves, whatever you want to do, and build up your soil in your garden. So I'm looking at my timer here, and I see that we have gone almost 15 minutes, and I have shared a lot of information in a short amount of time. So I hope that this has helped you, and I thank all of you who watch my videos and comment, leave such nice comment. That's such an encouragement to me. And we will see you in the next video.